G'day guys, welcome back. We have got ourselves a sick TVZ for the winners bracket final between Seither and Meomaika. Moonglade, thoughts on this series? Why is Seither going to 2-0 Meomaika? Talk to me about it.
Basically, we're going to see two cheeses, and it's going to be 2-0 because they're going to fail against Seither.
Two cheeses, two fails.
Right. But I'm going to say, don't blink because you will miss it.
Yeah, see, Pig went and had his break, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to quickly go make myself a sandwich because I probably have about 12 minutes to eat it. Yeah, because that's what he's guessing this entire series length is going to be. We will see,
crazy.
Though.
He is crazy.
He is,
and I love it. It's so spicy and it's so fresh, but it also means fast games.
It does. Generally, there is a chance that those attacks that we're kind of expecting, those aggressive plays from Meomaika fail, and he turns it into a macro game from that, because we've seen crazy games turn into a regular game of StarCraft more than once. Also, there's an opportunity for Seither to get aggressive as well, like maybe going for that very popular 2 or 3 racks rush, which is something that Terrans have been doing in TVZ lately, like at least once per series. It's kind of a hard one to read, to be honest. I think that it could be aggressive on both sides.
I think you're very right, but I feel like probably for Seither going into this, he's thinking, all right, it's Meomaika. I'm just gonna play safe. I'm gonna play a kind of like a well-rounded build that's gonna keep me safe and get me to that late game where I know I am much stronger. It's just about getting there unscathed, right? So I think Seither's just gonna be the guy receiving all the aggression and trying to just break it before it does any damage.
Well, it looks like Meomaika wants a little bit of a break here, so we've got some time to fill. Catalyst is going to be our first game. Glade, have you had a lot of experience on Catalyst as a Zerg player against Terran? Have you played a lot of this season, or not just...
Well, Catalyst was in last season too, right? And that is definitely when I played a lot more laddering. And I mean, to be completely it's a pretty standard map, I feel. It's one of the more standard maps, which is probably why it made it to another season of map pool, ladder pool. So I feel like it's pretty evenly matched for both players. I feel like Zerg definitely has a bit of a harder fourth base on this map because it's either take like a far corner or you try and take it more towards the middle of the map where there's a lot of destructible rocks or like a lot more sort of terrain to deal with tank pushes and whatnot.
Yeah, so, the tank pushes are so prevalent in TVZ. If it gets to that point, obviously Meomaika or Seither may dictate the flow of the game where it won't even see a siege tank. But if the game gets a little bit longer, certainly, that is so popular. There are a few nice spots here on Catalyst for siege tanks, but I feel like if you're on maybe like a Lost and Found or Dreamcatcher, there's a lot more very abusive spots for siege tanks where Marine Siege is a lot scarier. Yeah, whereas Catalyst, a little bit more open space to wrap around those tanks.
A little bit more open space and far less of the kind of like the terrain blockers to deal with compared to as you said, Dreamcatcher, I think is the big one. It's the very flat open one, but with a lot of sort of cliffs around everywhere. So
yeah, Dreamcatcher is catching a lot of Zerg dreams and then eating them up and spitting them out.
Pretty much. I'm excited to see what Meomaika's got planned for this, man, because he is on point. He's made it to the winners final. Clearly, he's been practicing for this, and it's showing.
His memes are powerful. Will they be powerful enough to take out a #1 seed? Let's find out as we're magically whisked away to Catalyst, the game 1 of this best of 3 between Seither and Meomaika. God, that's a good intro. I'm good at my job.
You are. I was impressed.
It's mistimed, though. Now I get a loading bar.
Oh, me too.
River. Don't drop this time. Oh, sweet. No spaghetti falling out of me and Glade's pockets for the beginning of this series. We're actually going to be able to cast this StarCraft. And that's up left spawn here of Catalyst. We have got our Vietnamese Zerg. This is Meomaika.
Down here at the bottom of the right in the red, the #1 today from SYF, it is Seither.
So Seither not going immediately for an SCV scout or any kind of proxy. Catalyst is very popular for this 2 racks proxy that I was talking about before the game started. A lot of really good spots for those proxy racks as Meomaika sending his Overlord beelining to the Terran main, which means his second Overlord's probably going to park it on top of that on top of that high ground here in front of the natural. If he wants to be defensive, alternatively, he could just send that Overlord over to the Terran's main as well. Kind of just assuming that Seither won't go for the strat. And as we can see, it just looks like a pretty regular expansion from Seither, whereas Meomaika is going to go pool first.
Interesting. Maybe a little cheeky Zerg play. Maybe try and get some lings around that Reaper and delay the natural while he gets his own up. And yeah, we did see that proxy 2 racks come into play yesterday with Hut against Risky, which was a nice little position. A lot of like really nice sort of little nooks and crannies you can put some barracks in that are just harder to kill the SCV early on. But I definitely don't see that being nearly as common for Seither to be busting that out. I think it'd be a massive surprise for just about anyone.
The pull first, you kind of touched on it. The power of it for Zerg is that it does delay this low ground command center. I think like you're not generally going to catch the Reaper, not someone like Seither anyway, because he's not going to have to deal with link speed for a little while. Reaper usually gets across the map and should survive with good micro and good control. But these lings, even slow lings, getting across the map can actually kill the SCV sometimes, and even just force a cancel if the Reaper is completely out of position. Depends if like the Terran's getting a reactor or not back at home. Looks like Seither's actually going for a 2-1-1.
Have you ever seen 4 slow lings kill a Reaper? I've done it once.
I have actually. My own Reaper has died to 4 slow lings before because I'm bad at the game.
It was one of my proudest moments.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? I actually managed to get one on when I played Zerg. I played ZVT probably last week on stream, and I got a Reaper with 4 slow lings against the wall on 16-bit. Hashtag got him.
That's beautiful. Yeah, hashtag got him, man. That must be one of the worst feelings for a Terran to lose a like that.
Yeah. And one of the best feelings is Zerg as well.
Oh man, there's nothing like it.
I feel like in TVT, you need to get past the Reaper War stage, and then you can play the game a little bit more comfortably. Because if you lose the Reaper War, it's so devastatingly bad for you. See that 2-on-1 is rounding out here for Seither. Lair on the way very quickly for Meomaika. No third base. Not that many drones as well. He's being a very saucy sausage over here.
So what do you think we're going to be seeing? You think we're seeing a really quick Nidus, perhaps?
I reckon we might be late. I reckon we might be Glade. Yeah, I'm with you on that. More Roach Warren going down, extra gas going down. This is looking like Roach Nidus.
Ooh, my goodness. I'm excited. So we're going to come down, and does that Reaper get to anything? Is he going to sack it eventually? Because he might be able to get past that Queen.
Meomaika's got Ling's position right against the Reaper ledge here in the main base, denying scouting so hard here. As Seither, I would actually scan. Oh, he's actually getting the Reaper into the main. Is he? These speedlings, he sees the Roach Warren. That's huge. And the lair.
The lair? Did he see the lair?
Oh.
I think it's probably a safe assumption at this rate,
yes,
right?
He did. He did. Just check his vision. All right, Seither, that clutch Reaper here for him is actually going to survive and gets all the information he needs. That's incredibly important for Seither. He might want to get some spotter units out on the map here, maybe put in a supply depot here and there at the enemy's main, because it's almost certainly going to be a big Roach aggression, whether it be right up his front door or via the Nidus Worm.
I wonder what Meomaika is going to do from here. Now that he knows that he's been scouted out, no, he's still going to go for it. I guess once you're all in, you're all in. There's really no wavering from that at this point of the game. You've set yourself up for a 2-base all-in aggression. You just got to do it. You got to pull the trigger. And a big Reaper scout off. I think he's going to see the Nidus, man.
I think the Roaches might be able to catch it. No, he sees the Nidus. Brilliant scout there for Seither.
Wow.
Very, very important.
That is massive. 2 medivacs out. Stim will be finished before the Nidus gets out as well.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be leaving everything. He's probably going to leave everything at home here, or he's going to be a greedy boy if he moves out with this drop. You can punish Nidus play by dropping maybe with 1 medevac, but I feel like if you send all of them across the map, it's going to be a little bit dodgy. He does actually cancel the worm here, so that will keep Seither at home for now, but if no worm happens in the next few seconds, Seither's going to be dropping on the other side of the map for sure.
Yep, he's going to be questioning things right now, and might even be worth a scan, to be honest, just to confirm that Nidus is up. And once he has confirmed that it's not, then it's Roaches against drop play, and that gets real messy.
Well, I see, Meomaika's going to have a lot of Roaches. They're going to have speed. So it is still a pretty scary army, but Seither's doing a really good job of just rounding out his composition a little bit better, like getting some Marauders out, getting +1 attack for his bio. Like a lot of bio with medevac support is actually extremely strong against Roaches. Roaches are one of those units that just isn't very supply efficient. against something like Bio. Well, that's actually going to supply block Meomaika for a little bit here. He could potentially get this Overlord as well. The Medevac's giving him high ground vision.
I think there's a good chance of that. Wow.
Oh my god, this Overlord, what a dick. Oh, these Overlords in the main base.
Nope.
Neither's out of position here.
Oh, that Queen in trouble. The drones are in trouble. Roaches are completely out of position here. A lot of drones are going to be going down. There's no anti-air beyond that Queen.
Yeah, and Meomaika lost a lot of Overlords there, so he's supply blocked again. Got 3 Overlords on the way, a handful of Roaches coming out. Seither's going to try dropping here, but he's just going to load up and get on out of there. The Roaches are chasing him down. The creep spread for Meomaika is not incredible. He actually doesn't have his natural and main connected by creep either, so the Roaches getting up and down from the third base to the main base is going to be a problem for him for quite a while here.
Yeah, we do see the rotation. Going to be picking at the main base while possibly working on that third with the rest of his army here. Getting a scout off of what's got a lot of Roaches.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough fire to engage these Roaches directly. A quick pick up there from the Seither. He actually hasn't lost any of his units just yet. And just really being abusive with these drops. There is nothing that Meomaika can do against these Medevacs except hope that they overextend over Queens. He doesn't have Spore Crawlers, he doesn't have that many Queens. He's just holding that R button. And he's going to have a strong ground army, but he can't deal with these Medevacs. And Seither is going to have Liberators, tanks, and he's going to start pushing very, very soon here with his army moving across the map.
Meomaika just looking to steamroll. One big steamroller of Roaches at some point in the game soon. Perhaps when the army has moved out in the map and he can jump on it, or perhaps he's going to go crashing into that natural eventually.
I think Seither's first push is already going to be quite deadly here. Just the one siege tank, but no Ravagers from Meomaika, just straight up Roaches. He consolidates his forces with the drop on the south side. These Roaches being kept at bay from that tank with a Bio and the Cyclone helping at the front lines. Meomaika bleeding so much supply here. Can he overwhelm? It looks like he might just be able to. Breaking off some Roaches, gets that siege tank, gets a lot of the Bio. But again, no answer for these Medevacs. They pick up and they go straight for the main.
Yep, he wipes it out. He cleans up so much of the army. It was all out of position, so it kind of tricked it in way too much damage. And now he's just going to keep him busy with drops again, and there's not enough Roaches to split up his army.
Can he break off him? This is an unfortunate overextension here with this siege tank's going to go down, but these Liberators are coming on in here. The Queen is the only anti-air here, and she's about to die. Down she goes. Now the Liberators actually don't have any answer. None. Zero. And there they go, just shooting at those lava and at those eggs. No problem.
Wow. Well, we do have some Ravages now. It's going to clean up this Liberator. GG is gone.
Just too much damage. Too much damage from Seither. Death by 1,000 cuts with that Terran drop play. You know what? You called it, Moonglade. Aggressiveness, and then Seither is either going to die to it or fight it back. And so far, so good. Man.
It's just going to be aggressiveness crashing against Seither, and it's going to be Seither finding ways to survive and utilize what is happening. And Seither, that Reaper Scout won him the game hands down. Like, once you've scouted that, you know what's coming. It's like, it's very hard pressed to lose from that point unless you really make a mistake.
Reaper, definitely the MVP there for Seither. I completely agree with you. I think that if you're playing blind in that situation, losing your Reaper in the early stages of TVZ, especially against a player like Meomaika, is a death sentence. The guy will just do whatever he wants against you. Yeah, it's hard to react. You have to get very, very lucky if you don't scout it.
Yeah, well, that is game number 1. Game number 2 is being hosted. It is going to be any second. Redshift. Ooh la la.
What? What is this map doing in this series?
I don't know, but I like it. It's getting spicy.
This is something that I would imagine Meomaika would not veto, because he is. When we were talking about Redshift yesterday, like what occasion would we ever see Redshift in this series? I was like, oh, maybe if a Zerg is especially aggressive or weird, likes to make Roaches early, then I could see Redshift being a thing. Or if they like to build their hatcheries at the front of their Protoss, out of the front of their opponent's naturals, then sure, Redshift, makes sense.
I'm thinking that's exactly the case.
You won't see a regular TVZ here calling it early, but honestly, even if this was lost and found, it wouldn't be a regular TVZ. The map doesn't matter. It's all about the players here. Meomaika will make sure that this one is going to be up to Seither to read correctly.
Mm-hmm. Going to be another guessing game for Seither. Can he utilize that Reaper Scout once again? I think we're going to see exactly the same from Seither, man. Very, very standard sort of build, just safety first. And Meomaika is going to be spicing things up with his own special sauce.
His own special sauce, all right? Going to spice it up a little bit, drop a little bit of that Vietnamese herbs and spices all over this series. Well, I actually think that this is a good opportunity for Seither to also be aggressive, but if you're building a barracks on the other side of the map, then you do leave yourself a little bit open to whatever Mia is going for it, so it's a little bit risky. I think if Seither plays, I think if you go like what you said, if he goes for the Reaper expand and just uses the Reaper effectively and doesn't lose it, then that's going to be the answer here for Seither.
Yep.
That's the safest way to get a 2-0 here.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. Seither's so good at the standard. He's so good at just a solid gameplay. There's no need to change it. And I mean, you just saw Meomaika go pool first, so trying to get fresh with Meomaika probably won't work because Meomaika is very aggressive.
That's right. You get fresh with Meomaika is a slap your hand away. No touchies. All right. Redshift is loaded. We are in the game. Seither versus Meomaika. Will Meomaika meme himself into a tied series, or will Seither close this out with a solid 2-0? I'm feeling like it might be the latter, but I have been surprised before. Moonglade, let's do it in the bottom left here. From SYF, currently on match point. This is Seither.
And up here in the top left from Vietnam, it is Meomaika.
Craigasm. This one is definitely bringing the fire. And you know what, guys? The big elephant in the room here is the winner of this series, I believe, is qualified for Valencia. They're going to be at the top end of that winner's bracket grand final.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So that's a big deal here.
That's actually a really big deal. Something we forgot to mention at the start of the series, that this is for all the chips, man. This is a lot of money and a trip to Spain.
It's at least a trip to Spain and $1,000 odd. That's pretty damn good. And also what we forgot to mention that's very, very important, as Meomaika goes pool first. What a shock. Let me just collect myself with this incredible surprise of an early pool here from Meomaika. Is that this tournament would not be possible without Blizzard, GameStop putting on the production, and of course, proudly supported by McDonald's. They have been instrumental in making sure that our scene has beautiful tournaments, a lot of money, and a lot of reason to log into StarCraft and grind those ladder games. But thank you to all three of those wonderful companies.
Doing great work here. And we did see the early expansion to the gold base. No surprise there whatsoever. We are seeing just pretty much the stock standard from Seither, as expected as well.
Going for a SCV scout here, which I think is completely justified. Now, Seither getting this base right here opens up a lot of risk, considering that Meomaika is going for a Roach Warren. If you go for a Roach Warren and you get some Ravagers out, you can just bile down this worker line very easily. You just walk it over to the middle of the map. Roaches and Ravagers are going to be dealt with very, very easily. And you can just actually negate this base from Terran for quite a while. And he is coming in, and he is going to see this Roach Warren with this SCV scout. And power of scouting from Seither.
Oh, he's not going to see this Roach Warren by the looks of things. Actually not committing to all the way to the mineral line. Reaper's going to have to do the scouting for him.
He did see that the pool's finished, though. So he's going to come in and confirm that Roach Warren. There we go. So now, even if the Reaper dies, which doesn't look like it's going to, this is wonderful start here for Seither.
It's a wonderful start. How does he react to this, though? How is he going to play this out now that he's seen Roaches are on the way?
I think Cyclone makes a lot of sense. Getting a rushing for a siege tank, perhaps. Definitely want to, if you want to completely shut this down, get a Banshee, and that might be the option here for Seither. See what he goes on for his add-ons here. Can't quite afford Cyclone just yet. He can afford a Tech Lab, so it looks like he might be going for Cyclone and something else in that starport, because he's just waiting for that 100 gas, that 150 minerals. And I still haven't seen a Cyclone. There it is. All right. So like I said, Meomaika can make Ravages here and really just punish Seither for taking the Skull base with these Roaches. It might even just lift the command center and go elsewhere, to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be a problem for him all game long.
Until he's got like a siege tank or something to really make sure that Roaches and Ravages can't get in without taking hits, yeah, it's going to be a hard place to try and get minerals from.
There is something that you can really do to punish this, and Seither might be going for is Cyclone drops. Cyclone drops are really, really hard for a Zerg that's sending all their roaches across the map. But it's going to be up to Meomaika to defend here. And at the moment, he's actually just being harassing these roaches. He's not committing to attack. He's not trying to bust them or anything like that. And Seither can do mineral line damage as well. He's going to use that medevac, that Cyclone, and those 4 Marines to try and hit those drones.
Yeah, and I think it has been spotted at this point, so it's going to be pulling back the Ravager and Roach. Give space for the SCVs to go back to that gold if he wants. 4 Marines and a Cyclone. Maybe out a Sniper Queen here.
They're going for it, and the Roaches aren't here just yet. They're actually down here on the other side of the mineral line. Queen tapping on that medevac, getting a little bit of damage done. Seither realizing that he can actually kill this Queen.
Wow. Cost him the rest of his Marines, but that Cyclone is still fresh. Nice kill as well. Hydra is just about to be finished, by the way. Are we seeing a 2-base Hydra attack?
I mean, potentially here from Meomaika. He doesn't want to get pulled apart by medevacs again like he was in game 1. And this Cyclone with medevac support chasing down this Ravager. It looks like Seither's just going to keep this gold base, not going to lift it and go elsewhere. So with these Marines and with this medevac, he can actually hold on for a little bit here. The Lings can't fit through this mineral line just yet. But if Seither actually mines out this one patch on the far right, then it'll leave his gold open. Oh, the siege tank getting a lot of utility here for Seither. Tank's unsieged. What are these Lings doing?
I don't know. I guess they're kind of trying to maybe...
They can't fit through here.
Take the hits or something. Ooh, this tank doing work, but tank goes down.
And now there's a Banshee, and like I said, the Banshee really shuts this down. Here she comes. What are you going to do? Buy all that? Good luck, have fun.
And then he does it, and you're like, oh, never mind.
And then I'm like,
Okay, Meomaika's really good. Yeah, Hydras need to be made right now. We're seeing 5 right now. Hydra upgrades are going in as well. Queen should be able to fend this off eventually. Not too many drones killed either.
There's actually no cloak for these Banshees, so they do have to be a little careful. They're not the cheapest unit in the whole world, but they certainly do stop the units on the on his side of the map. So even though it's tough for drone line damage, because there's obviously Queens and Spore Crawlers and the drone lines from Meomaika, it is going to be very good at stopping roaches from running across the map with Ravagers. A Ling attack here to the natural, but hey, hello bunker, goodbye Lings.
Yep, not going to be happening anytime soon. And looks like Seither is stabilized from here. Banshee's going to be coming up and seeing that there's Hydras on the field now. Got to be careful. A lot of damage.
Yeah. Repair that one Banshee, and with 2 Banshees, you can deal with a couple Hydras. Especially if they come anywhere near the siege tank. Ooh, gets an SCV. Yeah, he's just taking his time here. Going to repair up that Banshee and then try and take this watchtower away from Meomaika. Oh, gets 2 SCVs there. It's a nice buy there from Meomaika.
Yeah, a bit of a lull in the action, but I feel like we're seeing Meomaika gear up for something. He's just constantly making Hydras at this point. Overloads Hydras and getting the Hydra upgrades. I think he wants to go for an attack.
Well, he is droning behind this. So a little bit hard to say. He does have a good presence of army. I do agree with that. 60-odd army supply here from Meomaika. He also has muscular augments for his Hydras before Groove Spine, so they're a lot more mobile. And with Hydras, you can absolutely bust here, considering the siege tank count of Seither is not too impressive. He only has 3 at the moment, with a 4th one on the way. You can potentially bust those locations. Seither's actually covering his bases, literally and figuratively, quite well here.
Looks like he might be trying to bust down that bunker with the Hydras and getting those links to the main base.
Well, I mean, with this type of high ground, I don't know about this from Meomaika. He's going to be able to get through that bunker and flood those Lings in, but the bunker is doing so much damage. And that positioning on these SCVs. He loses that one tank, but the bunker lives, and Meomaika loses his entire army for not much.
Yeah, that was ambitious.
Yeah.
Very ambitious. He is droning behind this.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that he's droning behind this, means that he's not all in. In fact, he's going to take a worker lead here, and he has that 3rd base. But the gold's going to start to mine out for both players soon. The patches are going to open up. And I feel like with this army of Seither, he can be very... Oh, no, Seither!
Ouch.
Very unlucky there, getting caught by those Hydras of Meomaika, who do have Groove Spines and Muscular Augments both completed now, with extra range and extra speed.
I'm seeing the Infestation Pit now as well, so looking perhaps to get to Vipers eventually. Another avenue of attack here will help out against all these tanks that just seem to be blocking any sort of progression from Meomaika and his army.
Well, it's got that third CC on location with Meomaika getting up a fourth hatchery back at home, and he's heading towards Hive Tech as Seither is just trying to secure this third base location. I would say that Seither's army is a little bit better than Meomaika's at the moment, but I am still a little bit worried for this third base as the Hydra's come a knocking. I can't believe how aggressive Meomaika's being with these Hydralisks.
Yeah, man.
He's getting damage done.
He's getting damage done, but he's trading out a lot of Hydras for this. More remain, more coming down, but yeah, without any sort of like tanking or anything, sort of meat shield, no Lings, no Roaches, nothing, making it very awkward. And now counterattack from the other side.
All the Overlords have been rallied down here to this location, and Seither gets a lot of them here. Supply blocking Meomaika, getting into that mineral line, doing a lot of damage. He loses the command center, though. That's a straight-up kill there. But Seither is rolling on in. The mineral line is open, and Seither is A-moving down this hatchery and going for the Hydralisk next. Meomaika pulling back with everything he's got.
Wow, just completely out of position for this. Hydras are coming in, but pure Hydras. Not going to do well against Bio with Medivacs. He loses the hatchery.
Oh no, the Hydras!
Oh no. Is he going to get the right one is the question.
Yes! Oh, there's that big Medivac with a lot of juicy units in there. Nice pick off there from Meomaika, but Seither still has so much more army where that came from. These bio lines need to get in front of those tanks, and they do. And I think Meomaika's going to get cleaned up here.
Yeah, running once again here, turning around now that the tanks are out of range. Another base has finished up for Meomaika as well, not droning just yet onto that base. Fairly even in workers.
I still like Seither's army so much more. Meomaika's just on Ling and Hydra here, no Banelings, nothing like that. He's just starting to think on speed now.
We need some Vipers in this mix. If he had Vipers, this would be a different fight altogether. Only just started his Hive now, and another for Meomaika.
Now, Seither, has he remade that third command center? It doesn't look like he has. He does have a third command center, but it's not on location. Just looks like he's chilling in his main. There it is. Well, Seither's got this really, really great looking army here that's about to have plus to attack, and I think when that finishes, an attack makes a lot of sense for Seither to try and stop the Hive from happening, or hit before, while Meomaika's trying to power into that next phase of tech.
Yep, I definitely think he's semi on the clock at this point, because Vipers are going to really affect these fights greatly if he can get on top of the tanks. But yeah, Seither in such a great position, and once he's got that base up and running, nice kill on that hatchery, by the way. It's going to be very, very hard in a lot of these positions for Meomaika to engage without Vipers. Just straight up the top, going from south to north with the army of Seither is going to be very hard to stop.
Yeah, look at how oversaturated he is at that third base as well. Seither has this nice worker count, but it doesn't really matter because he's just not got very optimal saturation. Oh, there's a lot of Hydras here for Seither. Hasn't got any tanks position, so he has to take it easy. He loses one medevac for that overextension there. These tanks need to go for a walk, man. I think he can really get a lot of damage done with these 4 siege tanks.
There's so many Hydras without anything else. Pure Hydra, not the most ideal army for Zerg at any point. They just take too much damage. They're too fragile, but boy, do they do a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm. He has got some Banelings in here with the mix, but being on Ling Bane Hydra at this point of the game without any tier 3 units in the way is not the greatest situation for the Zerg, with Terran getting +3 attack, +1 armor on the way here for the Terran as well. He is negating armor upgrades, but this big engagement. Oh, the tanks on the top end are actually a little bit naked here, but nice micro on these Marines from Seither is splitting nicely and will just gun down this army of Meomaika on the south side.
Oh my god!
All the Medivacs! Miscontrolling his Medivacs, losing all those Medivacs on the north-hand side. Doesn't matter though, does he have enough fire to break on through? Oh, not just enough.
Not just enough. More are coming up, and 1 tank remains. A lot of that army got completely destroyed. All those tanks, all those Medivacs for nothing. Just out of position.
Seither still has a pretty decent army supply, but it's very messy engagements from both players. It's been a really, really awkward game for Meomaika and Seither. There's so many Hydras, not being able to get great locations here. Maybe Seither just hasn't been playing too much Redshift, but Meomaika's coming in here with a nice concave of Hydras getting through this Marine count. Sticking around a little bit too long. This 1 tank doing a fair bit of damage. He shaves off 1 Hydra from the back end, but that's an overextension from Seither if he goes any far further.
Oh, and looks like Meomaika's going to be crashing on down here. A lot of Lings get Bailey sniped by the tanks. Very nice target fire. Only Hydras remain down the south here.
He doesn't have enough Marines. There's 1 tank behind the gold mineral lines doing a lot for Seither. It feels like Meomaika is just sticking around in tank fire a little bit too long, but that is so Meomaika. He's so aggressive. Still no tier 3 tech coming out from Meomaika. He's just Ling Bane Hydra.
He is right at home in this scrappy sort of situation, and Seither's kind of playing to it right now, just constantly moving up and engaging in fights that aren't favorable. Not really getting his army together and getting caught out of position a lot as well.
If Meomaika lets this become a planetary, he is in big trouble. Seither is going to absolutely turn that into a planetary. That's a really strong position here. But Meomaika sending a bunch of Lings on the right-hand side towards that very, very open base here. He's got that one bunker, though. Seither needs to load it up with these Marines and fight back these Lings.
Another big game changer at this point is going to be that +3 finishing up. That is going to do wonders for any of these engagements going forwards, considering there's only one carapace on those Zerg units.
Yeah, there's also just +1 armor on these Terran units as well, so they're a little bit squishy. A bunch of Banelings got made by Meomaika. They're rolling in towards the 3rd base location. How much is Meomaika going to get done with this?
All of them.
all of them. That is the answer there. 17 Hestivis. But you know what? I actually don't think that's so bad for Seither, because he has his planetary, he's got a lot of mules, and he's down like 9 workers against the Zerg, which isn't the biggest of deals.
That is true. That is true. Nice scan here. Sees the Banelings morphing. How does he engage this? No tanks are in jet, maybe baiting the attacks. Marines are going down, and Banelings are starting to come in here.
They are, but they're so far off creep, and Meomaika loses all those Banelings except for 2 here before he even gets anywhere near those tags. Here come the rest of the Banelings. There's a little bit of overextension of these Marines from Seither. He keeps losing a little bit of Marines here and there. But there is Vipers. Finally, some tier 3 on the way here for Meomaika. As Seither's about to have 3-2 for his Marines. He's only on 3-1 at the moment.
Yeah, these upgrades are really going to start taking an effect in all these engagements going forwards. And we might see a dead hatchery here. Plus, you found a hatchery. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it comes up there with some Lings, deflects that drop, but the hatchery is still so low, and now he has to worry about that hatchery the rest of the game. Such an easy target for Seither. Look at all these siege tanks!
So many, 2 at a time popping out as well.
It feels like if Meomaika ever tried to attack Seither, it would go really, 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 really badly.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And all these Marines are just melting everything they engage now. Nice scan. Going to be... He thinks he can fight this. I like this. I like the confidence here. Only a couple of Banelings in the mix. Picks up, gets out.
Dude, Seither has so many medevacs. Oh, loses 1 there as he comes back to try and finish off that hatchery, but Meomaika was in position. Now Seither's like, hey dude, I've got 9 siege tanks and you've got 1 Viper. Lol, KXD, here I come, try and hold me, hold this off. Look at all these Marines and all these siege tanks, and so few blinding clouds available here for Meomaika. Ducks might be the better option.
This is going to get real ugly. We do see the blinding cloud on the here if he's got to choose anything, but just not enough, and GG is called.
That's just way too much firepower from Seither, and it was a scrappy, messy one, but he gets the 2-0 victory over Meomaika, and Seither will be our first player going to Spain. Woo! Well played, buddy.
Very well played, as expected. And he'll be sitting in that grand finals now, and he'll be playing for points and money, as well as, I guess, a seed, perhaps, to help him out in Valencia.
Well, the other thing is, he is going to be one of the top 2 players, but we're going to go all the way through because there is quite a bit of difference in prize pool between 1st and 2nd place.